Well, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
For a little change of pace, we decided to go to bay number 2 and pull out that panel underneath because, as I had said on one of the previous videos, I want to set up that battery and inverter so we can have some power with the solar panels, which are just sitting around, instead of running the generator all the time. Because right now it's costing us about $8 per day to run that thing, and of course it fluctuates with the price of gas. So I bought a circular saw somewhere, but it seems to disappear. I can't find it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this center ramp here so I can get into the wood down here at the end and pry it up and see what's there. And the reason I'm saying that is because and I'll show you. Well, let me show you now. Okay, so what we have here is we have these two panels like this covering underneath here, and here in the middle is you have your normal mumbo jumbo with wires and the water lines and stuff like this, but you have these two things, one there and one there. Now normally these are empty and they use them for moving air from the front to the back of the bus, and you know, feeds the air conditioning vents and all that stuff. So we need to pull that floor up so we can see what is here, because what I want to do is right here where it ends and the wires and all that begin, I want to put the battery standing from the floor up this way. And as I had mentioned before, because of the size of the battery and what have you, and the ribs on the bottom of the floor, I needed about an extra inch. So I need to see what's here so I can remove this. And this should be empty, but I need to remove that floor in order to see. But what I need to do is I need to see and make sure that they're empty. And I don't need to cut that side over there. I just need to cut this side, because I am going to put the electrical stuff in here. So what I want to do is I want to put a battery here, an inverter in the middle, and later add another battery. So it'll have two batteries. They're like 14, 16 kW, I think. So they're pretty good sized batteries. Now if I get two of them in there, you know, I have 28, 32 kW. So yeah, but in order to look in here, I need to pull that floor. So we're pulling that center tunnel so we can pry it up a little bit and get in here and just look. And if it's empty, then I can go ahead and cut this, and I don't need to put the floor, because I'm not ready to pull the floor. But you got to do what you got to do, because I want to get those things in here. They're just sitting around getting old, and if they don't get used, they go bad. So I want to put them in here so I can have I'll run some temporary 110 plugs, and this way we could use the drill or whatever electrical thing we need to plug in, and we can use that in here. Yeah. All right, let me go up there and see about pulling the thing. Okay, so we managed to get all these screws out of here, except for the one down there in the corner, so I just drilled it out. So what I'm hoping for is that I can pry this up and that will pop out of the hole over there. I drill the head off, and then what I need to do is look on the floor under that second window, so once we pull this up, I could get something in there and look. Or at least that's the plan.
Okay. That's the big one.
Get this, pry that up. You turn it up.
It's up here.
Okay, so we pried this thing up and it came off very easily. Now we need to see what's in here. And can you look? Can you see in there?
We have the pad, the metal pad. You cannot see here.
All right, hold on. Let me see, and then we'll come back.
Hello, George.
Hey.
Oh, what you doing?
Well,
Cutting the wood here.
I want to.
Wow.
Well, the idea was I wanted to open this up here because the second compartment goes here. But I wanted to make sure that this thing is empty because I need a little bit of this space coming up from the baggage compartment for the battery to stand up like this.
Yep.
So
it needs about 2 inch maybe.
well, you need 1 inch to be able to put it in, and you need a little bit of breathing room on top of that. So right there we got plenty.
Okay.
So what I need to do is I need to, now that I see what's
messy.
there, which is empty, I can go underneath here. I don't have to take this off. I was gonna have to, if I found something, I was gonna have to open this up to see. But now what I can do is I can take the wire wheel or the cutting wheel, go underneath, right? And I actually need the space here next to this thing. This is full of hoses and pipes and electrical wire and stuff, so you don't want to mess with this. But next to this, you have this. So what I want to do is I want to cut a section which actually at the end of this window, this first window, is where the baggage compartment starts this way and it ends at this column. So the baggage compartments are a window wide. So what I want to do is I want to cut the metal underneath this way and this way as wide as the battery.
Yep.
And well, a little wider so you're not trying to squeeze it in there. And then I will take some 3/4 inch plywood and stand it up and down and secure it to this wall coming in here, right? And this way I can take the battery and mount it to the 3/4 inch down below. So it'll be like this, facing out that way. But now that I see this here, now I'm able to say that there's nothing there. I'm going to look down in here. Oh, I need to make sure that it's clear all the way to here, which it looks like this is the air conditioning and vent and the return, because those things on the side there suck in and there's a little compartment there. So, and then you have this little wall here. So yeah, so that was part of the air conditioning thing there. And you have a line here, a hole here. I would have to go down to the bottom and see where it comes out, but I'm sure it's part of the distribution system. So yeah, now I can just sit this on here so that we don't fall through, you know, and which this is in really super good shape. But if you look here, you can't really see it, but if you look here, here you can see where there was some moisture there, you know. So a lot of people, they step on it, they go, oh, it's good, and yeah, it's solid. But what I don't want to run into down the road is there's mold that develops or is in there, and then it kills me. You know, I start having lung problems, coughing, and you know, before you know it, I'm coughing up these things like this. Who knows? There might be mold in there. So I don't want to do that. More than likely, you take out this wood to put in new wood. I mean, I haven't checked the prices of plywood, but you know, maybe $400 or $500 in plywood. I don't mind. I'd rather have new plywood down here and live, because I plan to be living
100.
100.
Okay.
So I don't want the mold to kill me before that. You know, I don't want to die at 99. So yeah. So now I'm gonna put this back in here. Now I can go down below and use the wire wheel, or the wire wheel, the cutting wheel, cut a piece of this metal out, and I'll be able to stand these things, because I want to start using that battery and inverter, so we don't use what you hear out there, because that's about $7-8 a day.
Yep.
You know, and not that $7-8 a day is very much, but over a course of months, it adds up.
Not only that, you already have the inverter. Why don't use it?
Well, that's my point. I have the inverter, I have the battery, I have the solar panel. So what I'm going to do is lean some against the outside over there and use it. Now, the problem that we're having not mounting these things is because I need some mounts that go up there, like the ones that I had showed you before. The problem is, and I mean, I could just go ahead and spend the money and do it, but I don't want to spend $200 per mount, and I need 9. So that's $1,800 for some mounts. I will find a way to make these things, you know, and aluminum welding is expensive, but maybe I can get someone to bend them for me, and I'll rivet them, and it'll be okay. Riveting is still pretty strong, so maybe I'll rivet them together instead of welding, and I can get by with less.
Okay.
Now, if I could find somewhere that they would sell them maybe for 100, I'd be willing to pay 100, but I'm not willing to pay 200 per each of one of those things. So I went the other way around, and I went, okay, how much will you charge me for the material already cut, and I will, you know, put them together. The material, just the material cut, was like $600 and some. So if you're going to spend $600 and something for the material, and then still have to weld it, well, you might as well just buy them at $200 each. But I don't want to do that. You know, if I had deposited the lotto winnings, I would say okay, 1,800 or 1,800, no big deal. But right now the budget is not lotto size, so I have to be careful where I put the money, and I have to find ways to keep that budget down, because whatever it is we do, the one thing that we cannot run out of is coffee. And coffee is expensive. All right, let me put this down and see about cutting that down there and moving on with the project.
Okay. I will vacuum it, so it's
Yeah, vacuum this.
not
And if you want to,
just-
you can vacuum in there. That's a lot of nasty stuff in there.
Yeah,
Holy moly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. All right, so I decided to go ahead and cut this thing all the way through for a very simple reason. After looking at this and vacuuming it up and getting a whole bunch of stuff out of there, I didn't want to take the chance to cut from the other side, set that whatever it is on fire, and then we can't get to it because it's got that plywood on there. And not to mention it's got some styrofoam board right there for insulation. So I decided, let's cut it. It's going to come out anyway, so we'll cut it. After we're done, we'll just put a bigger piece here or put something here, whatever, so we don't fall through. But cut from this side, or cut from the other side, and you can see if it's going to catch on fire here, right here. But before we cut it, Woon is going to vacuum this thing out, clean it out. Less chance of it catching on fire. All right, Woon, vacuum it up, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Surprise, surprise, surprise. The luggage bay doors are one window wide. And here's the thing. Window 1, window 2. However, the wheels are under this window. The first luggage rack starts here, or luggage bay starts here, and I'm cutting into the second one, so ta-da! We have to cut some more. Yeah. But it's okay, eventually it's gonna have to come out. You know, the biggest thing is what, you know, the one thing that I am worried about is any possibility of any fire that we can't get to. You know, while you're working on the bus, cutting, welding, whatever, there is a possibility that you can, you know, start a fire, and you know, we've already done that a couple of times. But it's okay. That's all part of the deal. The thing is, you have to be able to get to it and put it out. And with this thing being down here, bolted up with some kind of this is the first bus that I've seen done like this, and they did a fantastic job at securing this floor to this thing here. Let me tell you, whatever them things are, they're not coming off. You've got this thing here. You can barely see it there, but it's there. And then what it is, see, I think there's one open somewhere here. Let's see. Here we go. There it is. And what it is, it looks like a rivet, but if you go under, it looks like it has threads, but it doesn't. It's.
So what is it?
Well, it's like the shaft of the rivet has little thread looking things, and when they gets compressed, it locks it into place. And let me tell you, not only are they secured like that, they have glue. And we used to hammer and pry bars and chisels, and whoa, look at this. I could spend more time trying to take that stuff off, but it is really, really in there. But that's okay. The idea right now is I want to be able to cut below, and Woon could be here and monitor the sparks and arcs, and yeah, if there's any problem, she can just Put a rag and put it out. Yep. All right. We'll see what happens after a while, and I will update you.
Yes, I see it.
See it?
Yes.
Alright, so what we've got here is, this used to be the part of the air conditioning distribution system for the air. Now, I needed an inch to be to the top of the battery, so we actually have some space on top for breathing and stuff. Now, right now it's just roughly cut because I had to do it from up above, but I need to clean this up here, clean this up, get it straight. This, I'm gonna bring the battery in here. Now, it sounds easier than it is because it's 282 pounds. So I'm gonna put the battery in here and see. Well, actually, let me see. Is a measuring tape up there?
Okay, after you measuring, you're gonna trim this one here.
Okay, all right. Okay, so what I did is I just roughly cut in here so I can have this open and see what it is that I'm doing. But the battery is 10 inches wide, so I'm going to trim this a little bit more. So it's, as you can see, this is different sizes. So I'm going to put a little spacer plywood here and a 3/4 inch coming down this way. And this I'm going to trim up 2 inches so that battery will fit in here. And then of course it's got all this room up here, so now it will fit. And the battery itself will get secured to this, and the inverter will be next to it. And at a later time, I'm going to buy another battery because they're, I don't remember, $33, $34, $3,600 or something per battery. So right now, for what we're doing, one battery is more than enough. At a later time, when we start traveling full time, we'll get another battery so that we have plenty of battery. But anyway, I will do this here at a later time, as needed, as I see, whatever, you know, I can continue to cut some of this down that way and put the other battery. So there's plenty of room. If one battery works, the other one will be fine. And I'm going to see if I can put one battery, the inverter, and the other battery on the other side. And if I can do that, that would be perfect. If not, the inverter is going to go off to the side with two batteries here in the middle. But yeah, there it is. We're going to go to lunch.
Okay.
Come back and continue with this, and then we'll see what we can do, because we're going to have to find somebody to give us a hand. Unless we manage to do it by ourselves with the Bobcat, but that battery is pretty heavy. But it's right now, it's on the next compartment, and it needs to move over here. So we have to empty this compartment out, move the battery over here, stand it up, and see how it goes. All right, let's go have some lunch and have some dreams. All right.
Okay.
Thanks for watching.
ขอบคุณเจ้า
See you next time.
แล้วปะกันแฮมไมนะเจ้า
See you.
Bye bye